the gangs of Sydney in 1960s. There were gangs of young people called Sharpies. Any Australians watching this from Sydney or Melbourne in particular will know what I'm talking about. The Melbourne Sharps claim they're the original. It's bullshit. They're from Sydney originally. Melbourne Sharps are shit. They never came up to Sydney to try us out. Not me. I wasn't a Sharpie. To a fate for that. But they go on and on about their bullshit. They're nothing. But there was a place in Sydney called Sharpies. It was a golf. There was a neon sign with a golf thing going like that up and down near Central Station. And the Sharpies used to get their clothes from there. They used to wear golf clothes, like a penguin, beautiful penguin shirt with a penguin logo and high-waisted pants. And they were neatly dressed. I was a bit of a mod, and they were sort of like mods, but taken to the nth degree, like get rid of all the BS and just get down and get gritty. So my first job was a tax department in Sydney. I was expelled from school in 1967, and I just wanted to hang around the house, but Dad made me look for a job, so I went to the tax department and got a job there. And there's a bunch of Sharpies working there. They were Sharpies. They were sharp dressers. But I was sort of, I was what was called a hooey in Sydney. We took our thing from the Who before they turned into absolute fucking garbage. But the initial image, the Who weren't true mods. But I had that Who thing going. I was a hooey. And there was no gangs called hooeys. You were an individual, you're a hooey. I don't know. We sort of had a bit of a bit of respect for each other or something, because I used to wear high-waisted pants myself, but I used to wear like a sort of like a Rod Stewart haircut from the, when he had that, you know what I mean, a Rod Stewart haircut, whatever, like that creepy faggot from the Sex Pistols, Steve Jones, going on and on about bloody Rod Stewart and the faces. Fuck them. The small faces. Shat on the bloody faces. Fuck off. The Sex Pistols are shit. And anyway, so I was working there, and I used to go to Uptight in Sydney in George Street, and I used to wear like a velvet shirt with a medallion and that, and all the girls would go, "Oh, you're cute," And I go, "Oh, fuck, I don't know what to do about that." But anyway, one day I went out of that Uptight, and there was some Sharpies out there. I used to carry a huge carving knife in my pants, and I went, "Fuck yeah!" I pulled it out, and all three of them pulled out knives. I jumped the back fence, I swear to God, on pure adrenaline with one finger. Over I went, and I was away. Anyway, I get back to Guyamere, 23 stations, 23 stops all the way to Guyamere, and I had butcher pants. That's why I had butcher pants, like white and blue with big stripes and shit on them. And I'm running home down from, I wasn't running, I was walking. I thought, oh, it feels a bit wet. The Sharpies hadn't stabbed me. I fucking stabbed myself in the leg with my own carving knife. And that was funny. But I was shitting bricks because there's a guy called Mark Schmierer, a filthy cretin from 2nd Avenue, and Laws. The Laws is in the real bloody shit in 2nd Avenue. I have been involved in many, many episodes in the streets of Sydney in the 60s, but there's one thing worse, was getting back to Guyamere and have to get from Guyamere Station to my home in Guyamere Bay without bumping into Schmearer or Wars and their mates on the way home. So I was sort of versed in what you would say violence, and I've never been a people person as far as mates and shit like that, and that's homo shit, and and that's what they are basically. So I learnt many lessons, but the thing is, I actually met a couple of guys in the tax department that were sharps, and we got along really good. They were nice kids. They had terrible family lives, violence, and one of them showed me a 38 revolver in the lift one day, and I went, holy crap! And he actually killed someone, went to jail. It was awful. He was just a nice guy, but he's just bad circumstances. And Wayne he was a funny little fellow. He'd come into work every Monday with black eyes, and and he'd be out. Oh man! But they taught me a few lessons. There were two very particular nasties in Sydney in the '60s of Sharpies, and this is the truth. It's not bullshit. I'm not making this up. One was called No Arms, and the other one was One Eye. And they warned me about these two. These two were gang leaders, right? And the Sharpies actually gave me a number at 27. And I don't know what, they were just one Sharpie gang, but they gave me a number, and it actually saved my neck once. And they came from the inner west Sharps, so from Ashfield and Summer Hill, not the ones further out west. Further out west, they became skinheads. Anyway, so they gave me, anyway, so they warned me about these two, and I used to love drinking at the Town Hall Hotel. That's where the Sharpies used to drink, in the downstairs bar. I used to like drinking upstairs in the goldfish bowl. Anyway, they warned me, and I was one night I was down there. I had a drink in the public bar on the ground floor at the Town Hall Hotel, and sure enough, a hand comes over and drops a glass of wine, and a midi in those days. I've been drinking bloody pints and schooners for 50 years ever since, every day without a break. But I went, oh Christ, it's bloody One Eye. And sure enough, it was this guy with one eye. I didn't look, I just knew what to do. Wayne had told me, if it happens, don't look at him, don't do nothing, just drink your beer and put it down and whatever. And sure enough, I did that and casually walked away and nothing happened. And then another night I was at Town Hall Hotel station down in the bowels of Town Hall Station, waiting for the 23 stops to Gymea. And sure enough, at bloody 1 o'clock in the morning, last train to Gymea, what comes down and sits next to me, I'm all alone, no one on the platform, is No Arms with two of his lieutenants. No Arms was a thalidomide baby. In the early 60s in Australia, as across the world, thalidomide had caused deformities in children. And this guy was one angry one angry dude. He was one of the best kick fighters in Sydney. He just didn't need arms. He just used his legs and his 50 or 100 mates behind him. And sure enough, I'm just sitting there in my Rod Stewart bullshit gear, and because Rod Stewart's pretty cool at that time before he turned on it. Anyway, yeah, so I'm just sitting, and there's all these seats, and sure enough, No Arms sits right next to me with his two mates on the left of him. And I thought, well, Wayne told me about this guy, and you don't show fear, whatever you do. You just sit there. You don't even exude fear, You just sit. I was lucky because I knew who this guy was, So this guy was expecting me to go, oh shit, what the fuck? He's got no arms, and no, I just sat there, cool as a cucumber, and it was fine, Sat there for 15 minutes. They got up and walked away. My train came, and 2 hours later, I got home and had to wait for Schmear on Laws. But there was one other thing. That's right. And before it sort of ended in the, I would say, almost mid-70s, early 70s in Sydney. In Melbourne, these arseholes with those rat tails and shit on the back of their head, that shit went on forever and a day into the late 70s. Get a life. Anyway, I was sitting on bloody Central Station, waiting for the 1 o'clock train to go me, And sure enough, up they come up the steps. Holy fucking hell. There's about 20 or 30 of the bastards, and they're all the next generation of Sharpies, not originals. And they were all younger, much younger than I was. And I was on my own, and they were going to have a go. I just knew it, and I just sat, and I did what I did. And they're all going, yeah, poofter and all this. And they sent all these ugly-looking female things. They look like me, but with tits and orange hair and and they're all going, yeah, dirty poofter and all this. And you just don't say anything. You just sit and wait. And I tell you, they didn't have a go. I'm telling you now. That was the greatest moment in my life. Good night.